Stop everything you're doing right now because what just happened in Dubai is going to blow your mind. I'm talking about scenes that nobody in the tennis world saw coming, a viral moment that's rewriting the rules of what it means to be a sports superstar, and a 20-year-old from the Philippines who just turned one of the world's most glamorous cities into absolute pandemonium. If you think you've seen passionate tennis fans before, if you think you understand what true sporting fervor looks like, I promise you what's unfolding in the United Arab Emirates right now will change your entire perspective forever. This isn't just another tennis tournament, folks. What we're witnessing goes far beyond sport. This is a cultural earthquake, a tidal wave of support, a movement that literally nobody saw coming, and it's all centered around one person. Eala has arrived in Dubai, and the city has completely lost its mind. The tennis world is absolutely buzzing about one video in particular. Social media platforms exploded across the globe. Twitter couldn't handle the traffic. Instagram servers nearly crashed. TikTok went into overdrive. The entire UAE essentially stood still for this moment. We're talking about the exact second when Eala arrived in Dubai for her first ever appearance at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, and folks, the scenes that followed are nothing short of absolutely remarkable. Let me paint you a picture here because the video alone, as viral as it went, doesn't even begin to do justice to what's actually happening on the ground in Dubai right now. Imagine the kind of reception you'd expect for a global pop superstar. I'm talking Taylor Swift-level hysteria. I'm talking BTS rolling into town and teenage fans camping out for days just to catch a glimpse. That's the energy we're seeing right now in Dubai. Except here's the kicker. This isn't a concert. This isn't a movie premiere. This isn't some celebrity meet and greet. This is a WTA 1000 tennis event, one of the most prestigious tournaments on the women's tennis calendar. And the person at the absolute center of this storm, the individual causing traffic jams and security concerns and crowds that stretch for city blocks, is a 20-year-old tennis prodigy from the Philippines whom most casual sports fans had never even heard of 6 months ago. Since the moment Eala's feet touched Dubai soil, this city has basically come to a complete standstill. If you haven't seen the viral footage yet, and honestly where have you been hiding, you need to look it up right now. We're talking about pure chaos. Beautiful, joyful, overwhelming chaos. The Aviation Club Tennis Center, which is Dubai's premier tennis facility, is absolutely packed to the gills. We're not talking about hundreds of fans here. We're not even talking about a couple thousand. We're talking about a sea of humanity creating traffic jams that rival rush hour in New York City, forming lines that literally wrap around entire city blocks, producing a roar so loud that you can barely hear anything else except the constant clicking of thousands of camera phones all trying to capture every single second of this historic moment. Here's the thing that makes this even more incredible. This is Alex's first time in the Dubai main draw. This is a historic moment for Filipino tennis and the Filipino community in the UAE, which is absolutely massive, vibrant, proud, and incredibly organized, has shown up in full force to welcome their champion. You need to understand the significance of what's happening here. The Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships is one of the circuit's premier tournaments. This is where the absolute elite of women's tennis compete. Aryna Sabalenka is playing here. Iga Swiatek just arrived. Coco Gauff is in the draw. These are household names. These are Grand Slam champions. These are the titans of the sport who have dominated tennis for years. But here's what's absolutely wild and what has tournament organizers, media members, and tennis insiders completely shocked. Eala, ranked 40th in the world, is the one generating the most dramatic, most electrifying, most overwhelming crowd response of anyone at this entire tournament. Think about that for a second. Sabalenka is the world number one. Swiatek has won multiple Grand Slams. Gauff is one of the biggest stars in all of sports. And yet none of them, not a single one, is creating the kind of atmosphere that Eala generates just by walking from the locker room to the practice courts. So why is everyone in the UAE so completely stunned by what's happening? Because even though tournament organizers are used to big crowds, even though Dubai attracts wealthy tennis fans from around the world, nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, predicted this level of fervor for a player ranked 40th in the world. This kind of energy, this kind of passionate support, This kind of absolute devotion is usually reserved for a world number one. It's usually reserved for a proven Grand Slam champion. It's usually reserved for someone who's been dominating the sport for years. But Eala represents something so much bigger than a ranking number next to her name. She represents an entire nation. She's become a living, breathing symbol for millions of Filipinos working abroad, living far from home, building lives in foreign countries, and desperately searching for someone who represents their culture, their values, their dreams on the global stage. When Alex walked onto the practice court for the first time in Dubai, the atmosphere didn't just shift. It didn't just change. It absolutely detonated. The viral videos circulating on every social media platform show security guards struggling to maintain order, and this is crucial to understand, not because of any danger or violence, but because of pure, unfiltered, overwhelming fan love. People waited for hours in the brutal desert heat just to see her. Families brought their children. Workers came straight from their jobs. Filipino flags waved everywhere you looked. Chants of her name echoed through the facility. And all of this, every bit of this incredible energy, just to watch her hit a forehand during practice. This is patriotism you can feel in your chest. This is pride that transcends borders. And here's what makes it even more remarkable. This isn't even happening in Manila. This is Dubai. But judging by the crowd, judging by the energy, judging by the Tagalog echoing through the stands and the Philippine flags covering every available surface, you would absolutely swear we were in the heart of Quezon City or Manila proper. The Filipino diaspora in the Middle East has essentially turned Dubai into a home tournament for Eala, and the tennis world has never seen anything quite like it. Today's deep dive is going to be different from anything we've done before on this channel. We're not just talking about forehands and backhands here. We're not just breaking down tennis technique or analyzing match strategy. Before we even get to the actual tennis, we need to understand the sociological earthquake that is Eala in the Middle East. We're going to break down why this viral moment matters for the future of the why the tennis establishment is only now waking up to the enormous untapped power of the Asian market, and what it means for a 20-year-old to carry the hopes of an entire country, an entire diaspora, an entire movement on her shoulders. The headline everyone's using is shocked. The UAE is shocked. The tennis world is shocked. Tournament organizers are shocked. But if you've been following Eala's journey, if you've been paying attention to her rise through the ranks, this isn't shocking at all. This is destiny being fulfilled. This is potential being realized. This is everything we knew was possible finally coming to fruition. What's unprecedented is the scale. The sheer number of people pressed against those barriers. The videos going viral across every single platform. The global attention being paid to a WTA 1000 event that normally would get a fraction of this coverage. We're witnessing a fundamental shift in how star power works in tennis. As of this week in Dubai, Eala isn't just a rising talent anymore. She's not just a promising prospect who might do something special someday. She's arrived. She's the main event. She's the story everyone's talking about. And over the next several minutes, we're going to trace exactly how we got to this incredible moment. Let's dive into the context because to truly understand a viral moment like this, you have to understand the journey that led there. The Middle East tennis swing is absolutely brutal. It's a gauntlet that tests every single aspect of a player's game. Mental toughness, physical endurance, technical skill, strategic thinking. Players bounce rapidly between Abu Dhabi, then Doha, then Dubai. It's an exhausting grind that breaks even the strongest competitors. For Eala, this entire swing has been a perfect microcosm of her career. Flashes of absolute brilliance, moments of heartbreak, but always trending upward. A week ago, we saw her compete in Abu Dhabi. That tournament was the appetizer. Dubai is the main course. In Abu Dhabi, she made the quarterfinals, which sent a powerful message to the entire tour. She wasn't just participating. She wasn't just happy to be there. She was competing with the absolute best players in the world and winning matches she had no business winning. She showed her trademark never say die attitude by coming back from a set down, fighting off match points in a victory that defied all logic and probability. That run pushed her into the top 40 of the world rankings for the first time in her career. Top 40. Let that sink in for a second. Just a few years ago, we were celebrating her junior US Open title and wondering if she could translate that success to the professional level. Now she's swimming in the deep end with the Sharks. Now she's competing against Grand Slam champions and holding her own. The progression has been remarkable to witness. And then came Qatar. The Qatar Open brought her crashing back down to earth. She lost in the first round to Teresa Valentova, the kind of tough, frustrating loss that can absolutely derail a young player's confidence if they let it. After dropping a tight first-set tiebreak, she fell in straight sets. Predictably, the doubters emerged from the woodwork. Critics questioned whether she could maintain this level consistently. Some wondered if Abu Dhabi was a fluke. The pressure intensified. Which brings us to Dubai. In terms of prestige and difficulty, this is a WTA 1000 event, just one tier below a Grand Slam in importance. The entry list reads like an absolute who's who of women's tennis. Alex wasn't supposed to be the main attraction here. When the draws were finalized weeks ago, her ranking fell just short of automatic entry. She was slated for qualifying rounds, ready to grind through preliminary matches as she'd done many times before. But the tennis gods had different plans. A series of withdrawals opened the door. Naomi Osaka, a four-time Grand Slam champion, pulled out due to injury. Madison Keys withdrew. While these are unfortunate circumstances for those players, in the brutal reality of professional tennis, one player's misfortune becomes another's golden opportunity. Those withdrawals gave Alex direct entry into the main draw. No qualifiers. No exhausting preliminary matches. She was in. The energy in Dubai shifted immediately when this news broke. The Filipino community, hundreds of thousands strong in the UAE, mobilized instantly. Social media groups activated. Community leaders spread the word. Suddenly their champion wasn't just competing in Dubai. She was in the main show, guaranteed to play on the big courts, guaranteed to get significant media attention. Now let's talk about why this particular appearance went so viral that it broke the internet. We see tennis players arrive in Dubai every single year. Roger Federer has practically made this place his second home. All the greats have played here. Serena Williams dominated here. The list of legends who've competed at this venue is endless. So what makes Alex different? What makes this moment so special? It comes down to something called the home court advantage phenomenon, amplified by the unique demographics of the Middle East. Home court advantage is real in sports. It's been studied extensively. It influences referees. It intimidates opponents. It energizes players. Typically, you only get that genuine home court advantage when competing in your actual home country. But the Middle East creates an absolutely unique dynamic for Filipino athletes. With such a massive diaspora of Filipino workers throughout the UAE, playing in Dubai or Abu Dhabi or Doha often feels more like a genuine home game than competing in Europe or the United States. The viral video captures this perfectly. The Aviation Club Tennis Center has an intimate layout. It's not a massive stadium. When it's filled to capacity, the energy becomes absolutely massive, overwhelming, suffocating for opponents. In the footage that went viral, you see Alex walking from the player lounge to the practice courts. Normally, this is a quiet, uneventful walk. Maybe a few autograph seekers approach. Maybe some polite applause. Not this time. Not even close. She's completely surrounded by a wall of sound. Alex. 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 The chants have rhythm. They're organized. They're deafening. People are leaning over railings trying to get closer. Security guards look genuinely concerned, not because there's any violence or danger, but purely because of the overwhelming numbers of passionate fans. This is the Bayanihan spirit on full display. Bayanihan is a Filipino concept that's difficult to translate perfectly into English. It represents community, family, collective action, a village coming together to support one of their own. When Filipinos see someone from their culture succeeding on the world stage, the Bayanihan spirit activates like a superpower. They adopt that athlete. They protect them. They show up in force. And Dubai is witnessing the full power of that spirit. There's also a visual contrast in the video that makes it so incredibly striking. The Dubai tennis facility is sleek, modern, almost sterile in its architectural elegance. Against that minimalist backdrop, the raw, chaotic, passionate energy of thousands of Filipino fans creates this beautiful collision of cultures. It feels like a joyful invasion, a celebration that cannot be contained. And there's Alex, right in the center of it all, somehow managing to maintain her composure while the entire world seems to be screaming her name. Let's talk about how she handles this incredible pressure because it's genuinely remarkable. She's 20 years old. That's incredibly, almost impossibly young to be the focus of such intense expectations. But watch her body language in these viral videos. She's smiling genuinely. She's stopping to interact. She's signing autographs patiently. She's taking selfies with fans. For someone so young, she carries herself with remarkable maturity and grace. She understands her role extends far beyond tennis. She knows she's not just playing for prize money or ranking points. She's playing for the nurse who came straight to the tennis center after pulling a brutal 12-hour hospital shift. She's playing for the nannies caring for other people's children while missing their own families back home. She's playing for the engineers and construction workers and service industry employees who form the backbone of Dubai's economy. She's playing for every Filipino who's ever felt invisible or overlooked. She honors them through her presence, her effort, her grace. That connection is precisely why the video went so explosively viral. This isn't just a celebrity sighting. This isn't fans gawking at someone famous. This is a family reunion. This is a community celebrating one of their own making it on the global stage. The emotion is real. The pride is palpable. And the rest of the world is finally starting to understand what's been building for years. Now, all this incredible hype and viral attention doesn't automatically translate into points on a scoreboard. So let's shift focus to the actual tennis itself. Alex's first-round opponent in Dubai is Hailey Baptiste, and this matchup is absolutely fascinating from multiple angles. Baptiste is an American ranked 39th in the world, literally one spot above Alex in the rankings. On paper, this is as close and competitive as matches get. Baptiste got into the tournament as a lucky loser, which means she lost in the qualifying rounds but got promoted to the main draw when other players withdrew. So you've got Alex, who received direct entry due to withdrawals, facing Baptiste, who got a second life as a lucky loser. Both players have everything to prove. Both recognize this as a massive opportunity for crucial ranking points and significant prize money. Stylistically, this promises to be an intriguing clash. Alex is a lefty, which immediately creates tactical advantages. Her left-handed forehand is her primary weapon, creating angles that right-handed players find extremely difficult to handle. The natural spin pulls opponents off the court. We saw her develop this shot during her time at the Rafa Nadal Academy, and you can see Nadal's influence throughout her entire game. The heavy topspin, the relentless grit, the pursuit of every single ball like her life depends on it. But we need to be critical and honest here. Her serve remains a work in progress. In her loss to Valentova in Qatar, opponents attacked her serve ruthlessly. She needs a significantly better first serve percentage to compete at the highest levels. The courts in Dubai play fast, which can be both an advantage and a disadvantage. If Alex gets caught serving soft balls that land short in the court, Baptiste's aggressive baseline style will absolutely punish her. Baptiste hits the ball hard and plays aggressive tennis. To counter that power, Alex will need to rely on her superior movement, her defensive skills that border on supernatural, and that lefty spin that keeps opponents constantly off balance and uncomfortable. The mental aspect of this match absolutely cannot be overstated. Alex is playing in front of thousands upon thousands of her most passionate supporters. That's a double-edged sword that cuts both ways. When the crowd cheers every single unforced error from her opponent like it's a winner, when they celebrate her missed first serves like they're aces, it can genuinely mess with your head as a competitor. The pressure of expectation can tighten your arm, shorten your backswing, make you tentative when you need to be aggressive. Alex needs to channel all that energy positively. She needs to use the crowd to intimidate Baptiste rather than letting it add unbearable pressure to her own game. The viral video already proved she has overwhelming crowd support. Now imagine that atmosphere amplified during an actual competitive match. If Alex gets broken early, the crowd will absolutely try to lift her back up with sheer volume and passion. If she hits a winner down the line, the stadium roof might literally come off. Baptiste is walking into the most hostile environment she's ever experienced in professional tennis. How she responds to that suffocating noise and pressure will ultimately determine this match's outcome. So here's what I need from you right now. Smash that like button if this story gave you chills. Drop a comment below telling me if you've ever seen anything like this in tennis or any sport. And absolutely hit that subscribe button because we're going to be tracking every single step of Eala's journey in Dubai, and you're not going to want to miss what happens next. This is history being written in real time. This is bigger than tennis. This is a movement, and we're all witnessing it together. Let's go.